Hi, welcome to this pop-up training. My name is Ruki and I help mission-driven nonprofit leaders build strategic systems to attract funding and partnership opportunities. Now, in this session today, we're going to be looking at why donors set eligibility criteria for grant applicants. So as a nonprofit leader actively looking for funding opportunities for the work you do, you may have explored grant writing, or even if this is your first time, you may have checked online to see what available funding opportunities are out there for the work you do. Now, if you explore and check the notice of notification, the notice of funding opportunity, or the call for proposal, you may see some eligibility criteria or guidelines for turning in your application. Now, sometimes as a nonprofit leader, you may feel that these criteria are targeted at excluding you from that opportunity, but that is not the case. So I'm just going to share a few information with you on why donors set this criteria and also why it benefits them and also benefits you. All right, so the very first thing to consider, especially when you are exploring the grant writing process, is to understand that these donors have their own mission that they intend to advance, and putting up funding opportunities for other nonprofits is aimed at advancing their mission and achieving their strategic priorities for that period. So in a bid to attract the right candidates, meaning organizations that would help them advance their course, help them ensure that they are achieving their goals, they need to set these criteria in order to pre-qualify candidates that are coming in with their applications. So you need to understand that it's not just about you and the work you do, it's also about the donor and how they want to advance their mission. So those opportunities that they put out there is aimed at fulfilling their own mission. So one of the reasons why they put those eligibility criteria is to ensure that you have the capacity to deliver on the outcomes that they are looking for. So for instance, you see a donor putting up a notification of funding opportunity around environmental protection, and you see in the eligibility criteria that they want to work with nonprofit organizations with evidence of programming in environmental protection in the last 4 years. What this tells you is that they are looking for organizations that have been able to demonstrate some level of competence and results in doing work around environmental protection, because this is an investment. And as an investor, there's a lot of thinking that goes into the whole process of funding. You're investing their money in this program area in your organization, and they want that confidence that they are going to get the best return on investment for every dollar invested into that intervention. So think like a funder, think like a donor. So one other reason is to ensure that this is a benefit for you now as an applicant, and not just looking at it from the perspective of the donor. Looking at the criteria, you already know from the beginning that this is not for you. So you can channel your resources, you can channel your time and your manpower in completing applications to donors that are interested in your work. Now, something you really need to pay attention to and consider very importantly is vision alignment. And in subsequent training videos, we're going to be talking about that. You must ensure that your work or your vision or mission is in alignment with that of the donor. So you cannot be an organization implementing interventions around community health and you're sending a proposal to an organization interested in livelihood development or in gender. So you need to ensure that you and the donor, you are going in the same direction. You're helping the donor advance their own work, ensuring that they are achieving on their strategic priorities for that period, and also the funding will help you serve the communities that you have set up your organization to support. So ensure that that linkage and that connection is there. So the eligibility criteria that is being set up by the donor is not meant to exclude you in any way. You also need to understand things from the perspective of the donor. These people receive hundreds, thousands, and hundreds of thousands of applications every year, and they need to set this criteria so that from the beginning they have good quality interventions to review and pick the best. It's all about return on investment, and the return on investment is not necessarily in monetary terms, but in terms of impact. So you see in the notification of funding opportunity, the donor is talking about how you should have 3 years audited financial report. What this tells you is that the donor is interested in working with organizations that have a culture of financial accountability. Now, over the years, I've interacted with a lot of non-profit leaders, especially those in their self-funded phase, and they don't actually see the opportunity of being accountable even to themselves. And if you don't build in the culture of accountability in your organization from the beginning, you will not be able to scale to start exploring the grant writing process. So even if you're using your own personal income, you need to ensure that you have strong financial processes in place. At the end of the year, you can show that this is the amount of funding that you have used from whatever sources in that year. So the donor wants to see that this organization we are selecting have a culture of accountability, and they have some form of sustainability, because in your financial document it shows all of the funding streams for your work throughout that year. For a couple of years, let's say 3 to 4 years, they ask you for your financial report. So they know that, okay, this organization, they have a strong board, they have a giving board, they have a community of partners and supporters that give $1, $2, $10, $20 to their work. So they have some level of sustainability. So these are just documents that, show some indicators or some data that can help the donor say, okay, this is a good investment destination for us. So I want you to move from that mindset that these eligibility criteria are meant to exclude you from opportunities. No, it's actually meant for you to channel your energy, channel your resources to the right donors that are the right fit for you. I hope you got value. I want to hear your comments. So let's have your comments if you have any questions coming from the conversation in this pop-up training video. So thank you very much for watching to the end. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.